Welcome to Max Premieres. Netflix has one of the largest catalogs on the planet, but it also has an algorithm that keeps pushing you toward the same titles. Today, we're getting off that track. We've put together 10 science fiction films that the platform has been hiding in its own library, the ones it doesn't recommend, the ones that never made the rankings, the ones that launched without any real attention and that, when you finally find them, make you wonder how you missed them this long. Time loops, artificial intelligences, government conspiracies, worlds where time itself is bought and sold. Everything the genre can deliver at its most creative and most overlooked. But before we get started, it would mean a lot if you took a second to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for your support. Number 10. Tau. Julia is a young woman scraping by, however. She can stealing at nightclubs when she's abducted one night and wakes up in a cell inside a high-tech smart home. Her captor, an eccentric and ruthless genius named Alex, is using her as a test subject to refine an artificial intelligence he created. The AI is called Tau. It controls every system in the house, and it can do things no conventional voice assistant could ever dream of. Julia quickly figures out that escaping the rooms is impossible, but she also discovers something Alex didn't anticipate, that Tau, despite its design, is capable of learning, of questioning, and maybe of being reached. The film is an intimate, contained exploration of the bond between a desperate human being and an artificial intelligence that wasn't built for empathy, but develops something like it anyway. Micah Monroe carries the film's emotional weight with conviction, and Gary Oldman gives Tau a voice that shifts between the unsettling and the strangely endearing. It's not a big-budget spectacle, but within its four walls, it builds real tension around a philosophical question that stays with you long after the credits roll. Number 9. Warriors of Future. A post-apocalyptic future where Earth has been devastated by pollution, and an alien asteroid has crashed into the city, seeding a mutant plant that consumes everything in its path. The only option is to destroy it with a coordinated strike, while a team of soldiers in mechanized combat suits gives everything they have on the battlefield. Warriors of Future is the highest-budget science fiction film Hong Kong has ever produced, and you can see it in every single frame. Don't come looking for philosophical depth or layered character arcs, come for pure spectacle, and the spectacle delivers beyond expectations. Visual effects that rival Hollywood's best, action sequences that never let you breathe, and an infectious enthusiasm for the genre that leaps off the screen. Louis Koo leads the cast with the energy of someone who genuinely loves being inside a film like this. The plot is functional and doesn't pretend to be anything more than that. If you turn off your analytical brain and leave your sense of awe fully switched on, Warriors of Future is 90 minutes of high-voltage science fiction cinema that proves large-scale action doesn't have to come from Los Angeles to hit hard. Number 8. Paradise. In the near future, a biotech company has achieved what humanity always wanted, the ability to transfer years of life from one person to another. The wealthy can buy eternal youth. The poor can sell years of their lives to pay debts, to survive, to get something today in exchange for less time tomorrow. Max works for this company, persuading desperate people to give up their time. Then one day, his own wife has 40 years of her life confiscated to settle a debt. In a matter of hours, the young woman he shares his life with ages 4 decades right in front of him. Paradise is a German science fiction thriller with the discomfort of Black Mirror sustained over 2 hours instead of 40 minutes. What it does with its premise goes beyond visual spectacle. It offers a disturbingly coherent critique of late capitalism and the commodification of time. The inequality here isn't a metaphor, it's literal. The poor give years, the wealthy buy them. The performances are strong, and the film maintains its tension without collapsing into conventional action thriller territory. One of the most original and most overlooked offerings in the Netflix catalog in recent years. Number 7. SPECTRAL. American Special Forces are operating in a war-torn Eastern European city when they start falling not to bullets, not to explosives. Something touches them, and they die instantly. A DARPA scientist's specialized camera captures what the human eye can't, translucent silhouettes with no apparent mass, moving through soldiers as if walls don't exist. Scientist Mark Klein is rushed to the battlefield. His mission isn't to fight, it's to understand. What he finds is that the enemy isn't supernatural, but the result of a scientific experiment nobody should have ever attempted. Spectral is one of those films that works because it takes its own premise seriously. It doesn't treat the threat as a pretext for action. It builds a solid scientific explanation and follows every logical consequence of that explanation to its end. The third act cranks up the pace and drifts toward video game territory. But before that, there are 40 minutes of genuinely well-crafted military science fiction. Netflix dropped it into the catalog with almost no promotion, and almost no one saw it. It's exactly the kind of film that deserves a second chance. Number 6. Ark. Renton wakes up in his bed and has exactly 2 minutes before 3 armed men break into his room. This has happened before. It will happen again. The device he invented, the Ark, is an energy machine that was supposed to change the world, but something went wrong, and now it generates a time loop that resets every few hours, trapping Renton and everyone in his house inside the same hell, repeated. What looks like a home invasion turns into a story of broken loyalties, buried betrayals, and secrets that surface with each new iteration. Every turn of the loop reveals something the previous one didn't show. ARQ is a low-budget science fiction thriller that achieves more within its limitations than many $100 million productions ever manage. Writer-director Tony Elliott has a solid grasp of what makes a time loop story genuinely interesting, not repeating the same thing, but uncovering new layers every time around. The film is small, fast, smart, and full of the kind of twists that make you want to re-watch it from the beginning to catch what you missed the first time. Exactly what the science fiction genre should be doing. Number 5. Oxygen. A woman wakes up sealed inside a pod the size of a coffin. No memory of who she is, no idea how she got there, and the oxygen dropping at a rate that leaves no room for either panic or calm. All she has is Milo, a cold and procedural AI that gives her information in small doses and doesn't always answer what she needs to hear. Every question she asks opens a door, and behind that door is another, and behind that one is something she didn't see coming. Oxygen is an exercise in narrative precision. It knows exactly when to release each revelation, how to sustain tension inside a space of less than 2 square meters, and how to make the audience feel the same suffocation as the protagonist without ever leaving their seat. Alexandre Aja, a filmmaker known for extreme horror, proves he can do something harder than scaring people. He can make them feel genuinely suffocated. Melanie Laurent carries the entire film alone for 100 minutes without a break, and she does it in a way very few actors could sustain. The final twist isn't a cheat, it's a reward. It reframes everything you watched without contradicting a single frame of it. Science fiction at its most intimate. Number 4. In the Shadow of the Moon. Philadelphia, 1988. An ambitious detective is chasing a serial killer who kills in an impossible way. Victims die with their brains liquefied with no apparent contact. He catches her. In the confrontation, she dies. Case closed, career launched. 9 years later, another series of identical murders. The same killer not a day older. Then again, 9 years after that, exactly the same. The film follows this detective across decades as his obsession with solving the unsolvable destroys everything he had. In the Shadow of the Moon is a science fiction thriller with the patience to reveal its truth gradually. The sci-fi stays hidden behind a criminal investigation for nearly the entire first half, and when the film finally shows its hand, it does so in a way that retroactively reframes everything that came before. It's not flawless, the pacing falters in places, and the emotional construction could go deeper. But when the mystery finally clicks, when the reason behind it all surfaces, the film reaches something genuinely earned. For lovers of science fiction thrillers who know how to wait. Number 3. They cloned Tyrone. Tyrone is a neighborhood dealer who gets shot dead one night and wakes up in his bed the next morning like nothing happened. Along with Yo-Yo, a pimp who witnessed the whole thing, and Slick Charles, another character from the same block, they start investigating what happened to Tyrone and end up uncovering something far larger. An underground government laboratory that has been cloning and experimenting on black community members for decades to control their social behavior. They Cloned Tyrone is one of the most original, most entertaining, and most genuinely intelligent films in recent years. It blends the aesthetic and humor of 70s blaxploitation, the conspiracy paranoia of the 80s, and the sharpest present-day science fiction social commentary without any one layer crushing the others. John Boyega, Teyonah Parris, and Jamie Foxx have a chemistry that makes every scene a genuine pleasure, and the screenplay by Jewel Taylor and Tony Rettenmeyer is a masterwork of comic timing and embedded political commentary. Netflix launched it without a campaign and without any real noise. That's genuinely criminal. This film deserves to be in the conversation about the best releases of its year. Number 2, I Am Mother. Humanity is gone. Inside an underground bunker, a robot the girl calls Mother has raised her since she was an embryo. There's nothing outside, or so she was told. The girl knows nothing else. Her world is the bunker's rooms, the books Mother assigned her, the daily ethics tests designed to sharpen her mind. Then an injured woman arrives from outside with a different story, a version of the world where robots aren't saviors. The conflict between what the girl believes and what the woman claims is the heart of the film, and it's a conflict the movie refuses to resolve easily. I Am Mother works because it never makes clear who is right. The relationship between the girl and the robot is genuinely complex, no clean heroes or villains, with an internal logic so coherent that every revelation feels like a piece clicking into place rather than a screenplay cheat. The physical robot suit, built entirely without CGI, makes Mother feel real in a way no computer-generated image could match. Clara Rugaard's performance as the daughter is the emotional anchor of everything. One of the best science fiction films Netflix has produced in its entire history. Number 1. What Happened to Monday? One child per family. That's the law. Those born beyond the limit are sent into forced cryogenic sleep. That's why 7 identical septuplet sisters have spent years living in secret under a single shared identity, Karen Setman. Each carries the name of a day of the week and can only go outside on her assigned day. The system has worked perfectly for years, until one Monday doesn't come home. What starts as a family mystery becomes a spiral of action, betrayal, and relentless revelations that never lets up. Noomi Rapace's performance is simply extraordinary. 7 distinct women with completely differentiated personalities, postures, and ways of moving, all played by the same actress with a precision that leaves you genuinely speechless. In the strongest scenes, when 2 or more sisters interact, it's easy to forget there aren't 6 different actors on set. The plot is intense and merciless from around the 30-minute mark, and the twists land with exactly the right force at exactly the right moments. This film should have been a global phenomenon. Netflix released it without a campaign, without promotion, and without the attention it deserved. It stands as one of the most unjustly overlooked gems on the entire platform. And that wraps up our tour through 10 science fiction films that Netflix has been hiding from you all along. From underground conspiracies to AIs that make you question everything you thought you knew, today's list covers the full range of what the genre can do. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss what's coming next. Tell us in the comments which of these you've already seen, and if there's another buried gem you think we should cover. See you in the next video with more recommendations, more releases, and more content for those of us who know that the best films are rarely the most promoted ones.